Good afternoon, everyone. I, Professor Prajakta Pawar, would like to welcome all of you for this today's online session on essentials of data science. I would like to thank Kuldeep sir, PyNet Labs, for organizing this session and for this initiative. So basically, today we have our resource person, Mr. Shadaf Sanadi sir, with us, instructor at PyNet Labs, and also he is IABAC certified data scientist. So today we will get to know about the opportunities in data science. If we go with the data science, essential fundamental concepts of data science. So I would like to welcome on behalf of Department of Computer Science Engineering and Department of Computer Science Business System, Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, deemed to be University Pune. I would like to extend a warm welcome to Kuldeep sir, as well as our today's speaker, Mr. Shahadab sir. Welcome, sir. You can start the session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such a warm welcome, ma'am. Yes. So before starting the session, I need to know about the students. Okay. So I think this college is into Pune. Let me just share my screen, right? So as I have got to know that this college is from Pune. Okay. So I think today's session will be very interesting. Okay. So I am also a Marathi person. Okay. तर आज आपण सेशन मराठीत पण करूया and as well as in English as well. Okay. The people those can understand into both the languages. So my name is Shadab Sanadi and I am a senior data scientist here at PyNet Labs and also an instructor and mentor. And I am an IABAC certified data scientist, Google Advanced certified data analyst. Okay. I've been working from since 5 years, and as a tutor, I'm working from mostly 2.5 years. Okay. Today's session will be on, as we all know, a webinar or a session on data science. So we will be starting or the today's agendas. I will keep it very simple. So whenever you come out of this class or after this session, you guys should have an idea about what this technology is, how this technology is impacting the environment in the sense the whole and soul of the technologies, how this technology is giving much more of importance, and what is the scope of this technology going further. Okay, see, whenever we are going into job or learning any technology, what do we think? We don't think of that, okay, I want to learn this technology to do a job for 1 year or 2 years. I want to learn such a technology that I want to make my career success, years and years. And furthermore, into that, if I learn a technology, I don't want to stuck there. Okay, I want to increase my capability and go on, increasing my technical skills and upgrading myself. So such kind of technology that is my data science. Okay, I'm very passionate about data science. So today we'll have an amazing session. Okay, so let's move on to the session. So, you guys, I just want to know how many of you know about data science. I just want to know how many of you know about data science. Is my screen visible to you all? Yes. Is my screen visible to you all?
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
Yet?
Now it is visible.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Okay. So yes, so that is what today's agenda will be. And we'll learn what these technologies are about, what is step by step to learn this technology. We'll also learn we'll also go on to practicals, how this practical works, how a linear regression algorithms also work. So we'll do a hands-on session and we'll solve a business case that is very important. Okay. We'll solve a business case study also by using a linear regression algorithm. So welcome you all. Let's start this session. So I just want to know from the students that how many of you know about this technology? I want to know how many of you know about this technology. Can anyone give a definition on what is data science? Have you guys ever तुम्ही कधी पण ह्या टेक्नॉलॉजी सोबत इंटरॅक्ट केलाय काय या फिर right, you have worked on this technology or you are being familiar with this technology? Anyone, please let me in the chat box. You can let me know into the chat box. Okay. Yes. So going further into this technology, okay, just a minute. Okay. The first question when it comes out, what is the application of data science? Have you ever wondered how your Netflix recommends you the perfect content that you want to watch? Or example, how your Instagram will recommend you that type of content that you will be watching familiar with. How does this happen? It happens, or the backbone behind this technology is something called as data science. Okay. So we'll take an example of Netflix recommendation system. So how does this Netflix recommendation system works? We'll take another example, that is YouTube recommendation systems, like how any of the recommendation system into the content industry, how do they work? Okay. Now, into this Netflix, we have a problem statement. What does a problem statement of Netflix is? The problem statement is that showing the right content to the right user. Like if you are watching any horror content and you are getting a comedy content that you don't want to watch, so you will be like, oh, this is very bad, customer experience, or I am facing a very bad recommendation system. I don't want to watch that. You will go and type in. Okay, those are the challenges faced by some content companies like Netflix, YouTube, Amazon Prime, and all those things. Now, if you are watching or before watching, what do? You fill a form or you say that I want to watch this type of content, I want to watch English movies. Okay, all this data is being collected from you, being stored that data, and they will apply some algorithms. And according to that, you will get that particular type of content. Okay, so here in this example, the problem is about of the Netflix, it says showing the right content to the right user. How do they work or how do they make this happen? We know that Netflix is a very large company, and you have if you have watched the CEO's podcast of Netflix, he says we are not a content company, we are a tech company. He himself says we are not a content company, we are a tech company. Okay, Netflix doesn't do any production. Okay, they just sponsor the productions. All the productions are done with third party, and they just post that videos or content onto the platform. So they are not a content company, they are a tech company. Okay, so how do they work now? So they collect our all data, like your watch history, the ratings, time spends, clicks. Okay, everything they are being collecting your data. And how does that data is stored? That data is stored into my rows and columns. Example, this is your data. Okay, this is your watch time, how much clicks you have done, what is a rating of that particular content. If you are watching any movie, okay, any movie, if you are watching, okay, all these things, whatever are there, these are being collected in form of rows and columns, such like this, and it's stored into their servers, okay, or into their databases. Okay, all this is stored. And what do? They apply something called as collaborative filtering. It's a type of algorithm into the content industry, that is collaborative filtering. What do? They apply that, and also they apply content-based filtering, like what type of content is this? Okay, so such type of filterings they apply, and they will predict, okay, what you will be likely to watch next using machine learning. Okay, this is a very important concept in all those things. That is machine learning. Here, no one is sitting behind and recommending you. There is a machine behind that, and who is learning all these things, and giving you the recommendation systems. Okay, so what is the impact of this? Now the problem is solved. Okay, problem is solved. What is the impact? Okay, what is the impact of this problem? 80% of the watched content is from recommendation systems. What does this mean? 80% of whatever content is being watched in Netflix is never being searched. No one will go and search, okay, I want to, uh, watch that type of movie or that movie only. 80% of the people will watch whatever is recommended, like in your YouTube shorts, right? Or any YouTube videos. Whatever recommendation is coming, you are watching that only. If you are, or if you want to, search, you will search minimal times, but you will watch that recommendation systems more and more times. So this is what how data science applications are built. Okay, from your Netflix to Instagram to YouTube, all everywhere you see, all these things are happening right now. Okay. And according to the Harvard Business Review, as you all know, this Harvard Business School, okay, according to them, they have been quoted that data scientist is the sexiest job of the 21st century, in the sense that this job, yes, this job is, breaking everything. This job is a very, hard job right now that we have to learn this technology. And does it, Harvard Business Schools or Harvard Business Reviews are only saying that this is the one of the best job in the 21st century. Okay, so we'll know more about what is data science. By definition, what do you mean by data science? We'll have a look into that as well. So data science, basically, we can say as it is an interdisciplinary field. What do you mean by interdisciplinary field? Interdisciplinary field is nothing but it is not related to only one field. Okay, we have to combine multiple fields, and that is what interdisciplinary field that uses scientific methods, some processes, algorithms, and systems to extract, knowledge and insights from structured and unstructured data. Like how in our Netflix system, as I said you that data science is an interdisciplinary systems or interdisciplinary field that uses scientific methods, some processes, algorithms, and systems extract that knowledge and insight from structured data as well as from unstructured data. Okay, basically, or we can also state as data science is extracting meaningful insights from data. In your Netflix systems, what is my insight? My insight is okay, how much time this person is watching, what type of content is he watching, what is the ratings of his, all those things. I will, this is nothing but my insights. I am removing my insights, and I'm using that insights to build systems to give me better experiences. Okay. So this is basically what a data science is. Okay. So remember, whenever someone asks you what is data science, you can just say that data science is nothing but it's extracting meaningful insights from data by applying some scientific methods, processes, algorithms, statistics, machine learnings, all those things. Whenever we apply to a particular data, we have a process to follow. We'll get something as output. That is what my data science process is. Okay. Yes. So whatever we have a raw data, whatever data that might be sales data, that might be customer feedbacks, any feedback data, we'll apply some processes to that. And then let me just clear the screen. And after that, I can make some predictions, product optimization, and user behavior. This user behavior, we just saw into the Netflix, how users behavior, right? So that is what one of the application of data science is. Am I clear? Okay. So why this technology is rising? Like how Harvard Business Review also said that this is the best job or best technology right now. Why is this so? Why this technology is booming right now? Why is it happening? So we have a graph here that says about how this is, how data analysts or data scientists is being earning more, or why this technology is being rapidly grown. One of the most impact that why it is rapidly growing is about, you know data generation. Data generation, obviously, if data is being generated more and more, we all know that data science and data analytics is all applied to my data. If data is being generating, we need the professions, okay, the professions like me, you guys, or the passionate people, aspiring people like you guys, who want to make sense of this data. Data is there. आमच्याकडे आहे data, but we can't do anything of that data. Then what is the use of that data? So what we'll do, we'll apply something, we'll use that data and remove some insights. So that is what the most important is data generation. So that is what this graph says. In this graph, you can see into x-axis, I have time, that is my year, and I have scale. And this 50, 100 is nothing but zettabytes. Okay, this is my 50 zettabytes, right? So this 50 zettabytes on all of the data, whatever is present here, 1 zettabyte is equals to 1 trillion gigabytes. So imagine how much massive amount of data is being generated. And how do this data being generated? Whenever you use Instagram, whenever whatever any click you are doing into onto the internet, that is nothing but data is being generated. Okay. So here you guys can see into the legends, I have data generation into the green line, and the blue is the demand index. Okay. and the red is nothing but the present year right now, what it is going. So in this, you guys can see that back then, before 2016, before this internet boom, okay, this internet became a lot more cheaper. All the businesses were, coming digitally. Before that, we had a very low data, or we don't have that much of data so that we need that much of people. So back then there were not much more analysts. The analysts were working only into the finance sector or into government sector. Okay, that was not that much important people. Only those people had that much data. So there were the people that they were working. But as days passed, or as something happens here in 2020, we had a AI boom. Everyone started, digitalizing. Everyone started to work from home. All those things, data has been generated rapidly. And in 2025, the data has been exploded. Why? Because see, we have a lot of technologies coming. The chat GPTs, GPTs, the AI tools, the agentic AI, the Gen AI, all those things are nothing but what? They are working on data. You know, they are all working on data, and we don't have that much of demand. See, you guys can see here, there is a space, or I can say there is a gap in filling this demand. Okay, so there is what we fix, and this is not the projection only till 25. We have a projection from 2016 or 2015 to 2030. So see how the data will be generated more. It's obvious thing. See, everything is being digitalized, from payments to healthcare sectors, to CCTV cameras of the traffic signals, tickets. Everything is being digitalized. Digitalized in the sense data is being generated. So this is the massive amount of that data is being generated, that there is where the demand of data science or the demand of data professions, okay, mainly the demand of data professions lie into picture, okay. And businesses need analysts, businesses need data scientists, businesses need data professions to make sense of all this information, okay. So this is the demand of what is into being into the future, okay. Yes. Why is it mattering today? Why is it, why it matters? We have seen what the demand is, why the demand is, but why it matters? What is the impact in today's industry? Why it is so? The first impact is because this data explosion. As I said, uh, I'll give you another fact. What the fact is, fact time now. The fact is, every human averagely generates 1.7 MB of data per second. So you guys sitting there, every second you generate 1.7 MB of data. This is average, okay? Average data generation. So imagine, it's very big, large amount of data that whatever we are generating. And it was, from 33 zettabytes in 2018. It has been expected to, grow as 175 zettabytes by 2025. And this data, is driven by social media, IoTs, my Internet of Things devices like your sensors, your automated cars, your smartwatches, your smart rings, your cameras, all those things are IoT devices, and your transactions, financial transactions like Google Pay, all those things, right? So that is why, data is being generated. And data science unlocks this value. Okay, wherever we have data, we have data science. So from this, turning this raw information into strategic insights, okay, that is the work of data science, right? So here, that is what data science is mattering today. Okay, imagine this much amount of data we do have, but we don't have the professions who can make sense of this data. We do have professions, but they are not skilled enough, okay, to make use of this data. And another, the impact, or what is the, another point that why it is mattering today is because of a rapid job and growth industry. So what is this growth industry now? No, LinkedIn reports, this is not what I have wrote. These are the reports from LinkedIn. You guys can go and check on the browser as well. So according to the LinkedIn reports, it's approximately 36% of growth has to be seen in 2021 and 2031. And this is only in India alone, and it's expected to be around 138,000 new data science roles by 2025. That is this year, and we are all already into this mid. And these jobs are very, I can't say very high paying, but they are, moderate paying. They are very good jobs. It's very secure job. Data is never going to die. We are there. We are solving data problems. We are solving business problems and all those things. Okay. So what are the steps now? We have seen what data analytics is, all those things. So what are the steps involved in data science processes? As we all know, it is a process. So whatever process we have steps in. So what are those steps? Those steps are nothing but first is problem definition. Like in our Netflix, what do we have a problem? We had a problem of showing right content, okay, showing right content to the right user. That was, sorry, showing right content to the right user. That was my problem definition, or that was my problem. Then what will I do? I will collect my data. I know what my problem is. Now it's part or it's time to collect the data. From what did I collect data? I collected from watch time. Okay. I collected from watch time. I collected from clicks. I collected from reviews. All these things I collected from here. Okay. And then what did I do? I cleaned that data. Now this is the very important of data science process, that cleaning of data. What do you mean by this cleaning of data? Cleaning of data is nothing but whatever data I have, it's not into clean. Some people or some of the data, it's been, there is no data into that data entry. I can say if I have such kind of data. So imagine, okay, might be some row is empty, some column is empty, some values are error. Those things impact my machine learning algorithm. Okay, those impact my machine learning algorithm. So it is my responsibility to clean this data before proceeding. So data cleaning and data preparation is very much important. Okay. Then we have EDA. So what do you mean by this EDA, or exploratory data analysis? Exploratory data analysis is nothing but I going and exploring my data and seeing how my data is, what my data is about, what my data says, what is the relationship between one feature and another feature. Here, column is nothing but your feature, okay? One column by another feature, like what is the relationship between watch time and content type, okay? What is the relationship between these two uh, these two features, all these things we will uncover, so we will understand our data properly. That is what EDA is, exploratory data analysis. And then we have modeling. After understanding all those things, now I want to you know automate my process or automate my recommendation systems. Then what will I do? According to this data, whichever machine learning model or ML model fits, that model I will create by passing or training this particular data, and then I will do machine learning modeling, and then I will do evaluation. As you all guys write exams, you guys write exams, and your professors, all those, your university people, they check your papers, and then they will evaluate your, capability, or evaluate how you are performing. So I will do the same thing. After my model is prepared, what I will do? I will evaluate my model. Evaluate in the sense there are some metrics, like how we have pass and fail, right, in the examinations. So for the machine learning, we have some metrics, and it depends on what machine learning algorithm we are working. Okay, so onto that metrics, we will identify that, okay, if it lies between 0 and 1, okay, this machine learning model is, if it's 0, it's not working properly. If it's 1, yes, it is working properly. Or if it's 0.90, yeah, it is 90% of accuracy. I can say something like this. So this is what evaluation process is, and it is also very much important. And then we have deployment. Okay, now I have created all those things. My machine learning model is working. Now what will I do? I will deploy this machine learning model into one of the application that I have built. Here in this example, what will I do? I will deploy my machine learning algorithm into my Netflix recommendation system or that Netflix application. Okay. So this process, whatever the process is there, that process has been automated now, right? So this is what deployment is. And then communication, like we have to communicate with our higher authority levels. We have to see, check how our machine learning models are working. Then day by day we have to also keep monitoring and maintaining of that machine learning. Maintenance is nothing but we'll not put some oil and greasing and all those things. Sometimes data comes very fast, sometimes data comes very slow, so we have to maintain that so that machine learning model would not crash. Okay, so these are some of the basic concepts of what we know or we have into data science. And we will solve a business case by using these particular steps as well. Okay. Now, what are the important skills, Vinay? Okay. So if you want to learn these data jobs or if you want to learn data science, what are the important skills that you have to learn? The first and foremost is my programming skills. As you all from BTech and from computer science, programming skills are not that much, hectic for you guys. Programming skills here very much important is Python. So Python is a type of language that is very, very important in data science skills. Then we have statistics and mathematics. This also plays a very important role. See, we can generate programming skills, we can generate machine learning skills, but those statistic skills that we will be applying onto my data are very much important. These statistics is nothing but how my data will work. Okay, like if you have university exam, your CGPA or SGPA, whatever those things are, that is nothing but a statistics. It is a stats which says about you, right? So statistics and mathematics here are very much important. Statistics is nothing but your mean, median, mode, okay? Those type of things. That is very much important. When to apply mean, when to apply mode, why to apply that, all those things have to be known properly. And then obviously we have to know the machine learning. There are a lot of machine learning techniques, supervised, unsupervised. As you are from maybe from final year students, you guys know all those things. Okay. But the practical aspects are also important. We need not know to know only how we can solve into textbooks, how we'll solve k nearest, neighbor algorithm or neighbor algorithm or decision tree. How we implement by programming, that is also very much important. Why? Because we have to solve business cases, right? And then this data visualization. Can anyone say what do you mean by data visualization? I think all of you might know this. Data visualization. Anyone? Can anyone say me what is data visualization? Anyone? Data visualization is an important skill how I visualize my data. In the sense, see, if I have data, if I do analysis of that data, and I want to give it to my higher authority, and that guy don't know how you work or how do you do your statistics programming. He is only he just want a report. So data visualization is like your report cards in your schools and colleges. Whatever you do, whatever marks you have been got, they will put into a tabular form, okay, nicely, and all those things, and they will put the marks. Data visualization is something like that. Same. I will show you the application of data visualization and very beautiful chart as well that I have prepared. Okay. And data wrangling, that is the important skill of how I clean my data. Okay. Big data tools are also important, but not that much. Critical thinking is one of the things that how I think about if I have certain kind of data, what or how, which algorithm I will use, what cleaning technique I will use, what statistics I will use according to that particular problem. That is very much important. And also communication, but very much skill that I have missed here is about the domain knowledge. What do you mean by domain? Example, I am an analyst and or I am a data scientist working into finance domain. Okay. Finance, nothing but your banking sector. And I don't know anything about finance. What is the use of data science into that finance being sector? I will not know anything. I cannot put my skills into that. So domain knowledge is very much important. Wherever you work, but whenever you are learning, it's not important. But whenever you are working, it is very much important. Their domain knowledge is very much important. If you're working into finance, finance domain is knowledge is important. You don't have to learn and write CA examinations again. Just a basic knowledge, and then you have to know about if you are working into healthcare sector, about healthcare, sales, marketing. If you are working into that as well. Okay, so these are some of the important skills that you guys have to know. So what are some of the applications? These applications are surrounded in everywhere. So what are those applications? And remember, data science is not only limited to my IT industry. It is not limited to any of the industry. Okay, anywhere I have data, any industry, if I have data, data science or data analytics or machine learning or AI is applicable to that. And one more thing, why this data science is into boom is also because of AI. How? How? How is because see, we know AI is nothing but a chatbot. Whatever I put a prompt, it answers. But how do that answers? It answer because it has been trained by data. Okay, it has been trained by data, and that data is not, whatever the raw data we had, that was not clean, that was not properly processed. So to make learn to that AI model, this whatever the processes are going, that is required by data science scientists. And if you are learning data science, you can be ML engineer, MLOps engineer, nothing but uh, machine learning operations, data scientist, AI engineer, LLM engineer, deep learning engineer, neural network engineer. Now, these are the technology that it's into booming. Okay, and we'll see what is the various examples or various industry in what they are working with. They are working into healthcare. How? In healthcare industry, how they are working is like, imagine if we have into big hospitals, it's doing right now. Imagine if we have a something disease and we go and do MRI scan and we show to the doctor and doctor says no, you don't have that. Okay, and you don't have any symptoms or as well, and you in your MRI I can't see, I am not able to see anything, so okay, you are okay, you can go. But in nowadays what I am doing, what people are doing, what this healthcare industry is doing, because whatever MRI you have been to, they are being trained, or these MRI scans are being passed by some AI model. And this AI model will identify that patterns which are not, you know, visible by the doctor with their naked eyes. Why? Because that AI model, whatever AI model we are passing that MRI scan, it has been learned by millions or billions of MRI scans. It has learned that, and according to that it will scan that, and then it can say okay, you have such disease, you have to take medicine. So it saves people's lives, and it also saves time as well. That is what application of healthcare industry is also. Next is because of this, next example or next industry is into investment industry. Investment is also, finance industry, like how your banking loans, whenever you go and apply to any loan. Okay, nowadays you can apply into any application as well. How do they got to know that you are applicable or not? No one is sitting behind. There is a machine learning algorithm according to all your data, according to your PAN card, according to your Aadhaar card, all they check into background, and then that machine learning model will evaluate your details, and then it will say, okay, you are applicable or not applicable. And also it is giving us tailored investment predictions or suggestions as well. Okay, algorithmic trading and all those things, that is also a part of finance industry and how AI is working. Another one is about my infrastructure. Okay, how infrastructure is affecting. In Mumbai, maybe in Pune as well, we have CCTVs and cameras, and these traffic lights work on these cameras. Before that, people, it was a fixed time, 110 seconds, but now it is not a fixed time. It will check how much traffic is there, how much traffic. If the traffic finishes, it will turn into red again. So this is how, all these things are happening. Smart cities are being built into this. Roads are being constructed by using data, by using geospatial data, all those things. And the best part is into this retail industry. This retail industry is nothing but your Amazon, Flipkart, all those things. Your retail industry are also using data to manipulate users. Okay. And another industry is your government. Government is also using your data. They are using your Aadhaar card. They are using your PAN card, all the details. So that is why so many of the people are also receiving, tax notices that you guys are uh, earning so much money, you guys have to pay taxes. How? Because everything is being digitalized. Everything is digitalized. Whatever you purchase, they will ask you Aadhaar OTP and all those things. So everything is linked. Okay. So they will link, and this government is also using that. And those were some of the applications, and we have also know what are the processes, what data science is, and a business problem as well. We'll see what are the tools are required to study this or require to learn this technology. Is first my Python programming language or my R programming language. But most of the data scientists, most of the companies uses Python. Why? Because it's more popular. That is secondary, but it is easy to learn. It is very easy to learn, and it has a vast library sections. You can do anything into Python. You can, and you can build products, you can build products, you can do data science, you can create AI models, all those things. Because Python has a very strong, huge set of libraries. That is why Python is very much important. And in Python, we have a lot of frameworks that we'll be using or we use into our daily work. NumPy and Pandas are one of the most important for data manipulation. Data manipulation is nothing but to changing the data, like how I said you, cleaning the data. So to clean that data, NumPy, Pandas are very much important. And the data visualization, where we create charts, graphs, all those things to find relationships by using visual representations. We use Matplotlib and Seaborn. These are the important libraries. And for machine learning, we have scikit-learn. And for deep learning, we have TensorFlow and PyTorch. And for natural language processing, nothing but NLP is how your Siri or Alexa, you know, these people or this technology, how do they work? That is nothing but my NLP. And to learn that, we have NLP toolkit and SciPy library. That is, libraries that are already trained on that particular algorithm. So to learn those things, we to learn NLP, we'll be using NL or natural language processing tool. And another important libraries or another important tools is about data storage. So this data storage is nothing but how my data is stored. As we all know, our data is stored into databases, and you guys are very familiar with this all things. Okay, how how the data is stored into databases, how database works, communicate with the database, what we have to learn. Okay, and what are transactions, what are stored procedures, what are triggers, database management system. That is also very much important because we all are working on to data. My data is stored into that particular databases. It's very much important, or it's very much important to learn about databases as well. If we don't know about that, then what do we know about that? Okay. And remember, we do have two types of relationships or two type of database management system. One is RDBMS and another one is non-relational. Okay. So any one of that you can learn, it's more than enough. And then we do have data visualization tools. This is my Power BI. You guys can go and search what is the salaries of Power BI developer, what is the scope of Power BI developers. I'll also show you how a Power BI chart is about. And we have another example that is, or another tool that is my Tableau. Some of the other tools that we have to need for development and collaboration is Jupyter Notebook is a browser toolkit where we evaluate or where we run our programs. Google Colab is also Google Collaboratory. Is nothing but it's a type of Jupyter Notebook which is provided by Google, and GitHub to collaborating, to version control, and to have a teamwork. And some of the cloud concepts you guys also have to know. Why? See, most of the companies are running onto cloud. These Zomato servers and Swiggy servers, all the servers, they don't have physical servers, they are running into clouds. And whatever machine learning model you are preparing, you have to deploy it into cloud on. So very much important to learn some of the cloud concepts, not in depth, but you guys have to know how the cloud platform works. That is very much important. Okay. And another useful tool is Excel, which is for basic data handling, quick analysis. If you want to do anything, quick analysis, and you can do that. Okay. So these are some of the toolkits that you guys have to learn. especially this Python programming language and GitHub and some libraries from Python. And after learning all those things, you can be, you know, a data science developer, big data specialist. You can be a data scientist. You can be an infrastructure engineer. Infrastructure engineering is nothing but if any startup is growing, they need to store their data, right? So to make or to, provide that infrastructure, you guys have to learn all those things so that you can map what the business requirement is and you can create infrastructure. You can be a researcher, you can be a business person, you can be an analyst. Analyst in the sense you can be financial analyst, real estate analyst, product analyst. You can be any analyst, right? So this is what about all data science, what all we have speak, the processes, the applications, the toolkits, all those things. Let us have some of the practical, let us have some of the practical aspects how my machine learning works. Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Oh, yes. So I'll apply a machine learning model or I will apply a machine learning algorithm onto my problem. So what the problem I do have, let me just show you. Okay, let me just run this. Uh, Now, what is my problem statement? My problem statement is about a marketing agency. They want to check or they want to create a machine learning model to predict what the sales will be. Now, here I have TV, radio, newspaper. It's nothing but how a company, imagine you own a company, ABC. How do you spend, or this is what your expenditure on advertisement is. You spend $230 on a TV advertisement. You spend $37.8 in radios, newspaper, and you get sale of $22. So this is what my data is. And now if I want to check or if I want to predict like how my next data is going to and what my sales will be, it is very much important when we do marketing. Okay, we have to think a step ahead. What will be my losses? What will be my profits by this marketing campaign? So we call as a marketing analyst. So I want to check that. So how I will apply machine learning algorithm into this. See how I will apply. This is my data. What I have. Please have a look. And this is I'm using Google Colab and I'm using Python programming languages. I am importing some of the libraries, like I said you, Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn. These are some of the libraries that I'm importing. I'm just saying that, okay, come to my Google Colab because I need your help. Okay, I'm just importing those things and I'm reading my data set. And my data sets looks something like this. I'm using head function, which gives me top five records. And if I use tail, it will give me last five records. So you guys can see, okay, last five records. And by using describe, this is my statistical function. By using describe function, I will get to know about my data. So my whatever my data says, all those things. See, I can what insights I get from here. I can say that the average value spent on TV advertisement is something 147. The average spent on radio is about 23. The average spent on newspaper is $30. And by spending all this, my average sale is $14. These are some of the insights that I'm getting. The maximum what is the maximum I have spent on. The maximum I have spent on TV, 296, right? I have 200 of records, but I'm getting into one function that I'm using describe functions. So these are some of the insights that I can get. Hmm. And then I'll go one step further. I will ask or I will check my data cleaning step, right? I have, took business problem, collected the data. Now I'm cleaning my data. I'm checking is my data cleaned or not. So here I'm checking my info function. Info function is a function which gives you a little information about my data. What does it say? It says I have 200 entries, starts from 0 to 199. It has total 5 columns, and the columns are so and so and so and so. And it is using 7.9 kilobytes of storage. What are the data types? Float and integer. And it also says, is my data null or no? Null in the sense empty or not. So it says non-null, nothing but no empty records are there. Okay, so no empty records, no cleaning is required. Okay, now I'll go to exploratory data analysis. I will understand my data. Okay, now I will do univariate analysis, like how I said you, how one feature is related with another feature. Now what I am doing, how my TV is related to sales, how my radio is related to sales, how my newspaper is related to sales. I will have a look, and what are the insights I will get? Let us check. Okay, so here I am getting something TV and sales. Okay, I have TV here and what are the font they have used. So I can see it is not a uniform distribution. It is a digma distribution. I can say it has they have been used, they have spent a lot on $150 to $250. Okay, they have spent more into 200 and 250 number of times. Okay, and also they have spent from $0 to $100 multiple time as well. So this is what I can remove an insights from this TV sales. Okay, and then let us check for radio. Okay, radio looks like a uniform distribution. So they have used 20 times 10 to $40. And then let us check for newspaper, how my newspaper looks. Yes. So here, see, we have something, unbalanced sale. So it says univariant or it says skewed. We call it as skewed data. So you can see here I have my uh, errors. These are my errors. Okay. So newspaper is not that much effective way of marketing. Okay, this is my univariant is. Univariant is nothing but I'm using a single variable like newspaper. Okay, now I will check for multivariant. I will check for two variants. How can I check that? I can check like this, TV and sales. So what does this data says? Okay, I have plot a graph. I have plot a graph. You can see I have plot a rel plot and I have given x-axis as my TV. Yes, I've got x-axis as TV, y-axis as sale. Yes, I've got that sales as well. And my data will be that data set what I used. What does this data say? This data is, rising data set, or I can say structured data. What it is doing, it is rising above. So I can say that it is a forward direction, okay, or upward direction data. So what does this says? It says if I increase my TV advertisement, my sales are also being increased. If I use $300 for TV expenditures, I can get maximum up to 20 or $30 of sales. Okay. So this is what the relationship between we are finding relationship between PV and sales. I can also plot graph for different parts or different variants also, but I have a very small thing. So if I want to check for all the variables, I have multivariate analysis. So if I run that or if I want to plot that graph, so how will I plot? I will call my SNS library. SNS is nothing but my Seaborn library. I will call that into that SNS library. I have something called as pair plot. Pair plot is a type of graph, and let us see how that graph looks. It will take some time because it has much more. See, this is what my graph looks like. It will give you all the information about every data point. It will give you about TV to sales, TV to newspaper, and all those things by only a single code or maybe only of 3 word code, I can analyze all the data. So this is the power of Python. Okay. As we all know that my data is good, and I'll check data pre-processing and feature engineering. So I'll check before I will run into my machine learning model. I'll check how my data is. My data looks is, do I have any null values? No, I don't have null values in PV columns. I don't have null values in radios and others as well. Now what I'll do is I will go and delete my one of the column. Why I am deleting one of the column is because this unnamed column, what do I have? You guys can see this unnamed column, it's not needed. Okay, it is not needed. So what will I do is I will go and delete that. I'm deleting here. So to delete, what I'm doing, I'm using drop function. Drop function is used to delete that, and I'm deleting this unnamed field. So let me delete. After deleting, if I check my data don't have that. Now let us go and create my model. So now in machine learning, okay, I will give a quick what is machine learning. Machine learning is nothing but I will give my data to my machine, and it will learn and it will find some pattern. Okay. And after I give a new data to this, by using this pattern, it will predict something. Okay. Just a minute, guys. Okay. Was my screen not visible to you all, guys? Okay. Not an issue. We'll have a look for here as well. So what I will do is I will create my model. So what is machine learning? Basically, machine learning is nothing but my machine learning. What is my machine learning? Basically, I will give some data to my machine, and it will get trained, and it will find some patterns. Okay. It will find some patterns. And whenever I give it new data, it will identify that, and it will give me prediction. Like how whenever we used to learn into back then school days, our teacher used to train us 3 plus 2, 2 plus 2. Okay, she used to write this 3 plus 2 is 5, 2 plus 2 is 4. And next step is that she used to give, we used to understand this pattern, nothing but addition. And then whenever our teacher says, write this, we used to write like this. So this is the same way how my machine learning model will work. I will give data, it will train by itself, understand the pattern. Whenever I give a new data to it, it will identify that pattern and give me the output. Let us see how does it looks. Yes. So here I'm creating a model. What I'm doing, I am giving X and Y. Why here X and Y? X and Y is because X and Y. X is the data that what I will give to my machine learning or my machine to learn, and Y is something my output, right? Sales is my output. So I want to check that out. So what I'm doing, I'm taking that X as radio, TV, and newspaper, and Y as my that sales data. So let us check how my data looks now. Okay. So if I run this and check what my Y is, my Y has all the sales. See the sales. I have all the sales. Okay. Let us check what my X has. Okay. It's having some error. Yes. Yes. It was not a small X, it was caps X. So in my X, I have TV, radios, and newspapers. Right. Now I will create my model, or I will split into my train and test phase. Like how I just gave you example of how our teacher used to give me train and test. She used to train us like this, right? It was to 5 and then 4. This is my training data. She used to train us like this. And my testing data would be 9 plus 1, 10 plus 1, like this. Okay. So I will also split my data into training phase and testing phase. So that is what I have did here. X train, X test, Y train, Y test. So I'm splitting that, and how I'm splitting, I'm saying that my test data is about 20% and my train data is about 80%. See here I have used 0.2. Okay. And then what I'm doing, I am importing my linear regression. It is one of the most important algorithms into regression. Okay. Or supervised machine learning model. I'm creating an object and I'm passing my data and it is training. So I am predicting my data. So let us see how my prediction is. Is my prediction good or is it's bad? So let me just do this, see the shape of my data, create my machine learning model, and see the actual data. Okay, this is what my actual data, what I have, sales and all those things. And let us see what my data has been predicted, what my model has predicted. This is what my model has predicted. You see the first value here, it says 17.27524. This is my model has predicted. Okay, and this is what I had actual value, it's 17.4. So yes, my model is working properly, but I can't go and keep on checking every single value. For that, we have model evaluation. Okay, to model evaluation, I have some methods or some metrics. Those metrics are R2 score, mean score, absolute error. By using that, what evaluation metrics, I will understand how my data is working. So let us see and check. So my R2 score is something 0.90. So 0.90 is nothing but, as I said you, it belongs from 0 to 1. Okay, it is between 0 to 1, and mine is 0.90, nothing but 90% of accuracy. So I can say that yes, my machine learning model is working properly. So what can I do? Yes, so I can use this machine learning model and I can predict my values. Okay, so this is what an example of machine learning was, linear machine learning model. And let me just show you how a Power BI dashboard looks like. Okay, is my screen visible to you all? I guess yes. Okay. Yes. So this is what my Power BI dashboard looks like. And if you see the data, this is what my data looks about. You guys can see this is my data. So this is my raw data, and I'm turning this raw data into my insights, and this looks something like this. In that data, I cannot see how many sales has been done, how many quantities have been sold, how much profit I have got. All those things I can see here. And the best part, this data or this dashboard is interactive. This data is all about America data set, or it's belong to the America store, which is having a sales. If I want to see West data, I can just go and click onto this West. All my data is changing according to that particular slicer. Okay. And I can also go and see these bubbles. These bubbles are nothing but the highest sales what I've got from. I can also check like this. I've got different, uh, graphs here, which are very important. And also I can do something prediction. Okay. So you guys can see I have did predicted also. My upper prediction is about 9,585 sales dollars I can make, and lower is minimum I can make $1,000. So I can also create or I can also make prediction as well. Okay. So that's all for today's class. Thank you all for it's not visible. Let me just check happening like this. So into your chat box, you have a link where you can download your certification for today's webinar. And if you have any doubts in regarding of certifications of downloads, you can contact Kuldeep Kumar Dixit. Okay. Thank you all for today's class. Thank you so much. Bye bye.